ASL Prime League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to match number 2 here of the ASL Prime League Season 5, Group B. And speaking of B, he represents Brawl Esports. He's, I believe, a North American player, Yellow Protoss. He is Zeal.
The second Korean of our group, representing Dust Gaming. He's the Terran. This is Spear!
If only he had a 2-syllable name. This is it's like Spear!
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Shoot.
You know, it's kind of like Spider, but, you know, just... oh, well.
We have got some fun on our hands, my friend. We have got ourselves a Proxy 11 gate yum yum yum.
Indeed, and it is going to be the gas variant of it most likely, as he did only make one gateway and then pulled the probe all the way back. Didn't even go to scout, as he didn't want to give anything away most likely, and get as much mining as you can get done possible. So I love these kind of builds because they don't really fully dedicate to it, but it just adds a little bit more pressure onto your opponent, and you can even end the game with it if they don't see it early enough and have a bunker even.
Certainly this has some opportunity to do the damage. There's the Zealot going to be getting started, and we'll have to see. The first thing out of the racks should be a Reaper. Ordinarily, or at least I feel like in most of the games that I see, it's just a single Reaper versus Protoss. This is not, you know, 3 Reaper versus Zerg or anything like that. It's just that Reaper, you know, you're going to poke it in. You expect to lose it versus the Stalker and the Mothership Core at some point, so pretty limited utility. In this particular case, I would, again, just expect that one Reaper, and I guess if this pathing is slightly off, he may not actually see this gateway, and for now, those Zealots, they're just being kind of corralled behind the gateway to hide themselves.
Yeah, and I think the main focus of these Zealots here are going to be to get spotted. Hey, what's up? But they are going to most likely be able to cancel that command center, as the Reaper is going to take a little bit of time to kill it. But a third Zealot here, because it seems like he went for the Mothership Core before the Stalker. So Reaper should be able to kite this, I think.
Of course, yeah, theoretically, like, as long... Oh, please don't get caught. There we go.
Nope.
Oh,
and down goes the bunker.
As long as this Reaper stays just out of range of these swiping Psy Blades, it should be able to kill these 2 Zealots. But of course, the question really is how many SCVs get taken out. Zeal is kicking things off with some very fast and furious action. Stalker number 1 makes it into the main base. Stalker number 2 will soon be completed, and these Zealots getting some nice swipes off. This is not going as planned. 2 Marines going to be popping out relatively soon, but this is
a good amount of damage done. Yeah, another SCV is going to go down, exploding into that wonderful confetti. The Reaper is still alive. MVP here, as he bought some time for those Marines to get out. But now this double Stalker, as well as the Mothership Core, if this bunker doesn't go down, things get really dicey, even if you do get a few units out.
One more SCV going down. A bunch more have been brought up the line. They're going to be trapping the Stalkers. There's the Time Warp going down, trying to allow the Stalker to escape. Both the Stalkers have gone down. Can this bunker actually finish, though? That is such an important piece of this puzzle. Now, on the opposite side of the map, the Reaper is heading in for Spear. He's got an opportunity to do some damage, and if he can do some pretty serious probe damage, it might make up for the damage he himself has taken.
Oh, this going to do so much damage, this Reaper. This is so brilliant here out of Spear. Because if he can hold back all at home, where you did get that bunker up, there is nothing here. No production, no Mothership Core. There's just nothing here, just probes. You know, probes don't really do too well against Reapers here.
When you get to play ring around the main base with just probes chasing you, it is a super ton of fun. The micro is going to be pretty nice from Spear, rather just the control of that Reaper, not letting it get surrounded as you would expect. And in these situations where you're trying to manage things on opposite sides of the map, sometimes you do end up making those mistakes that you otherwise wouldn't. And the Reaper
No, he doesn't.
Escape. Wow, 1 HP, literally 1 HP.
Wow.
Very nice.
That is truly the MVP Reaper. Buys enough time at home for him to get a few units out, and pushes away the Stalker. He even got a few of the Stalker kills. Yeah,
Ooh.
both of those Stalkers had gone down. And now even the Marines are going to come out. That's the only production building for now. Actually, there is another gateway here in the main for Zeal.
That Reaper escaped with 1 HP twice.
Again?
It pulled up against the Stalkers, and then it got chased away, and it ran away with 1 HP, and now it's in the middle of the map again. That is absolutely silly.
It really is, yeah. And what are these Stalkers going to do, right? They're going to try to just see if there is an expansion here for Spear. Realizes that there isn't any, and once again, his worst nightmare, the Reaper.
Oh, my word.
Another
Reaper.
probe goes down.
Is he actually going to go all the way up to 10 probe kills? This
is insane.
That's almost just ridiculous. Okay, yeah, I guess it's only 9 probe kills. I think you mentioned he killed a Stalker earlier, but... Or was it a Stalker? No, he must have
Might have been
killed...
one of the Zealots, maybe.
Yeah, that must
he
have
got
been
an
one.
assist on it.
So yeah, certainly a nice bit of a turnaround. I'm not saying everything's hunky-dory for Spear. Certainly his orbital command is a fair bit delayed, but naturally once you get those orbital commands up and running, Mules can help you make up for the economic difference that you had earlier in the game. Hellion's going to be moving out, but also you've got that medevac all loaded up, 1 Widow Mine, 6 Marines. So this is the opportunity for Spear to do that damage.
Indeed, and of course Field will go down and force those Hellions to stay inside of the natural, and they get taken out with relative ease, but where is that drop going to go? And has it been discovered here? He must assume that something is going to be on the way, but that Photon Overcharge has already been used here at the natural, and there's nothing in the main... Okay, I think he realizes it, or the possibility, as the Photon Overcharge should defend anything at the natural until it's over. Ooh, this is such a tense situation for any Protoss, yeah.
This isn't one of those situations where it's super early in the game and they're going for like a 1-base 1-1-1 and it's really early Widow Mine drops. Like, the Observer is already out. There's a second one on the way. So while these Widow Mines, hopefully if there's, as you can see, the 2 medevacs heading in at the same time, if that's what ends up happening, there is some definite possibility for some serious damage to happen. But I'm not sure if it'll be sort of game-winning damage. I guess it depends on the probe splits.
Yeah, let's see what happens. There are 3 Stalkers here as well as a Sentry. If that Widow Mine does get burrowed, it should be able to do something, but not really going to do too much. Marines are in
but
the
at
back.
the natural, that's where the probes aren't being sold. 1, 2, 8 kills.
That's all it takes, a little bit of distraction, and yeah, that is all you need. You save this medevac and you already win, but he even manages to save 2 Marines with it. And he might even get these Widow Mines too. Oh, what a beautiful setup there. It definitely would justify. Yeah, that's so much.
18 probes have gone down. I mean, if you look at the worker counts right now, 35, 33, and then you suddenly add back in those 18 probes, and it gets a lot scarier for the Terran player. But he's done definitely a good job of bouncing back from that early aggression. He's powered himself up to those 3 racks. Of course, he added on his 2 additional racks after the second or after the second CC and after the factory and the starport, but he's starting to power up that production. We should be looking for the next stage of his plan, as he's got, you know, STEM, Combat Shield +1, all going to be coming in relatively soon.
I really love how he kind of delayed his STEM and his Combat Shield. At first, I wasn't sure why, but, you know, he realized that he could get some really good damage done. He pumped out those medevacs and also the Widow Mines. And he used that instead. He uses gas on that, so pretty cool stuff, as it did definitely pay off pretty well. And now everything lines up perfectly.
He's going to be walking into this main base, perhaps a little bit early. Combat Shield's got a couple of more seconds until it's finished. Stim will be shortly finishing after that. A couple of Zealots evaporating on the front lines. There's 1 Sentry, but it's, of course, already used quite a bit of its energy. There's the pop of Photon Overcharge. This Mothership Core trying to put out that little bit of damage. Goodbye, Zealots, as they do get targeted down. There goes the Sentry as well. And a third medevac going to be joining in as the two Widow Mines get dropped into the main base with 12 probe kills.
Oh my goodness, another huge explosion here. The Colossus even going to get taken out. Oh. This is brutal, Cybert. Like, oh.
What a follow-up to that opening. That Colossi stepping down from the high ground like, hey, let me help out, just gets snapped up, absolutely destroyed.
No! Oh! Again! The Widow Mines get an addition. I don't even know what the additional was, but 14 kills on Widow Mine A. Widow Mine B, where are you at? You just disappeared from my...
Oh, wow.
That was disgusting.
So with those two Widow Mines being dropped into the main base while the attack was going on in the natural, it was, I believe, 12 probes killed the first round.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 of the second series of the day. I am Tempo, joined by Cybert, and you are tuned in to the ASL Prime League Season 5. Spawning here in the top left corner, representing Brawl Esports. He's down 1 game. Can he bring it back? It is Zeal.
While in the bottom right-hand corner, he is certainly bringing the pain with that last game. Oh, man. Those crazy, crazy probe kills. Representing Dust Gaming, this is Spear. He needs that one more win to be able to put the pressure on, go up against Rain, and, of course, knock down Zeal to that lower match.
Yeah, I mean... that is pretty much what he would like to do, and I was just, that was pretty brutal the last game, and it almost seemed like Spear was going to be the one that was taking all of the damage in the beginning. It was looking pretty dire, because he could never get that bunker up, but by some way of the world, he was able to do it.
He made that magic happen, but yeah, I mean, the bunker was trying to be established. He got knocked down mid-construction, and then the SCVs just got constantly sniped. And it was looking very, very sad, but, you know, that was certainly a match where many things went well for Zeal, and then suddenly everything went terribly for Zeal.
Just awful, yeah.
Coming into this match, I mean, we've got the 13 gate into just regular Cybercore timing. It's looking much more standard, just a single gas. There's not like, you know, a pylon in the wrong spot on the map, nothing like that. Yeah. So, all things being equal, will Zeal be able to take a more macro-focused game off of Spear?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Spear is going to be the kind of aggressive Terran no matter what. Oh! I was going to say no matter what game it's going to be. But now he doesn't have to worry about, of course, that early aggression out of Zeal. But also for Zeal, it means that he's going to have units at home. He's actually going to have stuff to defend besides probes. So it's definitely something that is going to be better here for Zeal. But here comes the first Reaper already. And how many kills do you think it can get before the Mothership Core comes out? It's looking like just 1 for now.
In these situations, I normally expect, like, 1, maybe 2. If the Protoss is particularly good, 0.
True.
And then you look at something like last game and you're like, oh, 9 kills, okay. Certainly we don't expect that in this game. It's a very, very different game, all things considered. But, yep, that first Reaper going to be poking on in, gets himself that first kill. Also, of course, you know, just gets a little bit of vision. He doesn't see a whole lot. But I guess what he does see is he's like, all right, you're not doing anything too crazy. You've got like a reasonable number of pylons. You've got a Nexus on the way. It's almost completed. You're probably not going for any sort of weird fake-out thing.
Yeah, and it's going to be up to that Reaper in order to get in there and see exactly what it is going to be. So at some point, he should be able to do it. And then he can kind of make his decision on what it is that he wants to do here. Spear, that is. Nexus is complete. We, on the side of things, know that the Twilight Council is on the way here for Zeal. But, you know, Spear has no idea that it's going to be Blink. I don't know if he's going to be setting up exactly to deal with something like that, as he is going into an aggressive build of his own.
He's got plenty of Hellions on the way, which certainly Hellions are one of those units that can be negated very easily by force fields until you start to get either medevacs out or you're running around a different direction with your Hellions. Force fields and stalkers can certainly shut down Hellions very easily. In this particular case, will they actually be able to? A couple of probes going down, nothing major just yet. Zeal also hasn't really pulled any of his probes. And, actually wastes a shot attacking those plates. So a little bit unfortunate there. Potentially could have killed off one of these Hellions. And as a result, that Hellion that didn't get killed off got 2 additional shots. And now that's 5 probes dead.
Yeah, and an amazing thing, what the Reaper couldn't do, the Hellions do, in order to scout the Robo as well as the Twilight Council. So he knows that the Robo is not quite done just yet, and that Blink is most likely going to be the next upgrade that is going to be on the way. So, wondering though, this little bit of a strike force, something that you don't usually see, but if there is a photon overcharge used, you'll see it maybe as a follow-up. I don't know if this is actually going to be able to do anything here for Spear, but he's really trying to force that photon overcharge.
Actually, there's only one observer just now, I believe, out on the map. I thought there was already one, but no, certainly it's just now popped down, of course, due to the Robo after Twilight. There is the photon overcharge being popped in the natural as Hellions and Marines going to be targeting down that Nexus. A curious choice indeed. I mean, he gets 4 more probes, which is always nice. I think one of them was the Widow Mine, but gets himself a couple of probe kills, which is always fun, and then right-clicks that Nexus just because.
Yeah, well, not too bad though. I mean, I think that Zeal is not breaking down as much as it looked like he was in the last game. He's dealing with this a lot better, although he is losing workers here and there on each one of these. He's definitely doing a lot better. Like, it's not these big game-ending hits, and if he's able to get these upgrades out, get his Colossi out, and we'll see how Spear plays in that kind of mid/late game. I'm wondering how he does, because he's definitely very, very powerful in this stage of the game. As, of course, a lot of people do say this is where Terran is the strongest. That kind of mid-game before Protoss is really able to start getting all of their really crucial upgrades out. But here comes another drop. I don't think this Widowmine is going to do too much.
Into the main base, into the natural. Oh, no. Oh, well, no, the Blink actually did save the Stalkers, so that's nice there. But 2 more probes going down, and, well, the medevac will escape with pretty much everything inside of it. So, nice Blink away by Zeal. Researching Blink relatively early is indeed paying off in that respect.
Yeah, I think he's getting better into his comfort zone. Not really doing too much counter damage himself, as he is going to be focused on getting his units out. Sometimes you will see the more greedier style, where you do get your upgrades out, you do get your Colossus count up as high as you can. Then sometimes, of course, you will see the kind of Warp Prism harass to kind of slow the Terran down and say, hold on, you chill out for a second. I need to get my stuff up, so it's time for you to take a little bit of a chill pill. And it seems like he's just going to try to take it. He's taking whatever it is that Spear is lunging at him, and, hey, it seems to be working okay for now. I just hope that he's able to deal with this right now, as the rest of the army is coming across the map from Zeal, or at least from Spear, rather. Oh, but the medevac!
Snipes that down. Of course, the one Widow Mine at the natural does get placed down. Gets itself a probe kill. Not too big of a deal there. But in this particular case, Spear powered himself up to those 5 racks before, well, quite a bit before his 3rd CC. He's only just now adding that on. So he's been sitting on that 5 racks production, of course. We saw Combat Shield. We saw Marauder Concussive Shells. I wanted to call it Marauder Slow, but that just doesn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, people call it that, I think. Seems to be. It's a common terminology.
Lots of upgrades going to be coming in for the Terran player. And, of course, 1-1 for Protoss hasn't quite kicked off just yet. And actually, wait, Thermal Lance. Thermal Lance is not actually done, and it's not anywhere on the production.
Researched. Oh, no.
Like, the Robo Bay has been done for quite some time, and now.
That's so big and annoying. Like, you need that. I mean, sometimes you will see Protoss go for that Robo Bay and then go right into Templar Archives, you know, not invest in it, but this is definitely a mistake. There is a triple drop inside of the main of Zeal.
Does get cleaned up over at the natural. Couple of Marauders, couple of Marines heading in. They're going to, of course, click on that Nexus. Got their crosshairs on it. Won't quite be able to finish it. One medevac does go down. The majority of the bio does manage to step away and clear out of there. But once again, creating space is the name of the game. Into the main, into the natural is the game of Spear. He's trying to just open up opportunities for himself. And if Zeal isn't carefully, sooner or later there's going to be a very big opening that, much like the last game with those Widow Mines doing crazy amounts of damage, Spear will be able to take advantage of those kind of mistakes that Zeal makes.
I really love it, yeah. Spear putting on this pressure is insane. He's taking a third behind it all as well, so he's getting his economy up. And without extended thermal lance out, every time those Colossus try to damage, they have to put themselves into that vulnerable range of the Marauder. And with these drops going down, making it even easier for Marauders to tag Colossi is just, you know, making such a defense that is usually hard for Protoss even harder. So I definitely am feeling for Zeal here, as he's not even able to get his third up. Got cancelled once again.
Just now, Colossi range going to be finishing up. Here's a big stem up into the main, but there's going to be potentially the drop to snipe down those Colossi. Going for nothing, as actually loading back
ambitious.
up into the medevac.
Yeah, that was very ambitious, right? Like, I'm gonna get out of here. Nah,
with
not
that
gonna
many,
happen.
There aren't a huge amount of stalkers, but there's certainly enough to snipe down weakened medevacs.
It was just like one of those moments where it's like a panic, like, let's get out of here, boys, but it's like, nope.
Didn't quite work out like he imagined.
Not at all.
Too bad.
But he does have a lot more surplus units, and I mean, he can afford to throw a few units away, but you never want to spend too much time harassing if you're not trading, because even if you do have the good economy behind it, if the Protoss doesn't really lose too much while you're throwing away your army, then a big counterattack could end the game for you, even if it seems like you've been ahead for so long. So definitely has to be careful about that. Spear does. Don't throw away too much of your army here, you know, just kind of keep it cool. He knows that he's keeping his opponent on 2 bases for now.
Those darn observers, they're just not snipeable by Spear. He tried to snipe 2 different observers. He threw down 2 different scans and wasn't able to do it. Oh, the probe. The probe trying to build that third got sniped by the Widowite.
Oh, that third is not getting up, it seems.
And there's even like a Guardian Zealot there who's supposed to like take the shot for the probe. Like, not gonna happen.
Nope. He there's like that thing where you jump in front of the bullet. He literally just missed. Like, he jumped in front and the guy hadn't even shot yet, and
this third, for real, it cannot get established. I mean, you said that, like, it got denied, but it can't get established. The Observer was heading over there to, like, help the Zealot clear it, and then the Observer just pieced out. He's like, no, just kidding, I'm not actually going over there.
Sad day to be a third here in the world of Zeal. And behind it all, of course, Spear is mining. He's fully saturated, dropping mules. His supply is just starting to skyrocket. He's already adding his Vikings here as well, realizing that Zeal is definitely committing heavily to Colossi and not transitioning and going into Templar, because he simply doesn't have the gas from that third base, of course. So he could, but then he wouldn't have this great Colossi count. Maybe a little bit too vulnerable.
Always one of those kind of trades and that thought process you have to go through is, where do you want to invest that very precious gas? Widowmine's all going to be burrowing. That with that many Zealots, definitely a lot of opportunity for splash damage to take them out. Warp Prism also going to be joining up this army, but Zeal, I mean, he's starting to bank a bit of gas. He definitely needs to get his warpins on.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? Spear doesn't have anything on the other side of the map. This is his full army, but Zeal is also almost maxed out. The Vikings are getting a pretty good position, but they are in range of the Stalkers. Zealots do have the charge, and I believe 2-2 is done here for both players. But the trades are really good here for both players at the same time. If Zeal has a good leftover army, he may be able to continue to push this in, because it is his last chance to do it, as Spear's army is just so much, or his economy is so much better, rather.
He's lost every Colossi, but he doesn't have much of a ground army to follow it up. You mentioned Zealot Charge, and that's so difficult to deal with at times. in this particular case, those +2/+2 Zealots are indeed doing a pretty good job, but the numbers with the reinforcements should be enough to push this back. With no Colossi able to deal that AoE, the constant stream of reinforcements from Spear allows him to push it back, and from here on out, as you mentioned, oh, actually, the Widowmine is, like, packing it up. He's heading down from that third base, so finally...
His shift is over, and he's going to allow that third base to go down, and... Oh, how funny it would have been if that probe went over and got blown up yet again, but,
Yeah, if at the same time that the Widowmine is heading to the other kind of third base, the probe is like, I'm going to go over here and sneak around. But this is like, what, 9 minutes or like almost a full 10 or 11 minutes before this third is going to be up behind the third of Spear.
Goodness, yeah. It is not going to be good here. I mean, this is the kind of move I would make. Say that attack went pretty decently for Zeal, and instead of going into the natural, he went into the third and like killed the third of Spear, got a lot of SCVs, and then pulled back. You know, maybe so, but he did lose a little bit more of his army when he pushed in there. So look at that!
Now we're seeing
God, the production of Spear.
It's dwarfing everything from Zeal, double the army supply coming out for Spear. And this Viking count, he was a little bit low on Vikings, maybe. He certainly had enough to do the job, but now it's just, he's starting to climb so high in comparison to the actual number of Colossi that are out on the field, because it's 13 Vikings versus just 2 Colossi, but this Bio Ball should be, it depends on the Archons, but this Bio Ball should be enough to clean it up.
I think so as well. +3 being finished to only 2 was done here for Zeal. Probe's even coming. Here come the boys. They got minerals in their mouths as well, trying to use them as little lightsabers or something, but nope. Not gonna work out at all. That is just way too much bio. Yeah,
Absolute.
Just gonna push on through.
Absolute destruction of the mothership core of the Colossi. Everything that's in range of those Vikings being absolutely destroyed, splitting his Marines and his Marauders against Probe. GG. Woo!
Spear.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.